o'clock to fully address the collective actions and other mandatory requirements in a bid to maintain full compliance with the World Anti-Doping Code. It is our hope that the coming year 25-26 will see an even increased funding on the program so as to include more confidence nationally and across the international sporting platform on Kenya's commitment to presenting clean athletes.
And I want to emphasize that the agency recently held a two-day workshop with the national federations, and we were able to rally them onto supporting our call and our mandate so that whatever it is that we are saying we are doing has the support of the federations. Over time, we have also seen increased testing capacity within the agency, and we're saying that we have scaled up our testing program with targeted approach, focusing on high-risk athletes and regions. This includes both in and out of competition testing, and I want to emphasize that this has seen a lot of support from both the WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, and the athletics support program, the World Athletics through the AIU. During the year 23-24 financial year, the agency conducted 4,161 doping tests, exceeding the target of 3,500 that was envisaged. The agency is looking to surpassing these figures in the current financial year. Additionally, we can confirm that Kenya is on schedule to comply with World Athletics Rule 15 requirements as the country prepares to present a clean team during the forthcoming 2025 World Athletics Championships in September this year. On resource management, what we also call sanctions and prosecutions, the agency continues to work with national and international bodies to enforce sanctions against individuals found guilty of doping. The process is completed in strict adherence to the code and related international standards for resource management. The common offenses that we have seen over time are the presence of prohibited substances, evading or refusal to submit to testing, tampering, and whereabouts failures. I want also to speak about the intelligence gathering and investigation and say that the agency has in the recent past enhanced the internal capacity for intelligence gathering and investigation, and additionally, we have continued to engage the national and international stakeholders to further improve our intelligence gathering and case investigation processes. To this end, the agency recently hosted collaborators from various law enforcing agencies and institutions with a view to seeking a way to seal up various shortfalls that exist in the effort to dismantle the cartels or personnel that promote doping in this country. We firmly believe that this war will be won and very soon. Finally, before we leave this space, I want to talk about the enhanced games because, again, this is very topical across the world, and I want to join the other international stakeholders to say that the agency has a long-term goal to make the anti-doping education the cornerstone of athletes' development from an early age. We envision a sporting environment in which success is earned through talent and hard work, not performance-enhancing substances. Consequently, the agency strongly opposes the practice and participation in enhanced games, a proposed event that promotes the use of the use of performance-enhancing drugs. This idea undermines decades of global anti-doping efforts and poses serious risks to athletes' health and the integrity of sports. As the national anti-doping body, ADAK stands with the international community in rejecting any attempt to normalize doping. We remain committed to clean, fair competition and continue to celebrate athletes who choose to stay clean and win rights. We therefore call on all stakeholders, athletes, coaches, schools, federations, sponsors, and the general public to remain vigilant and supportive of the national anti-doping mission in upholding the spirit of clean sport as a shared responsibility. Now, the agency highly appreciates you, members of the club, for being the voice for clean sport in this country. God bless you and God bless you.
First, and I like what you have said in terms of the case that was facing the athlete Kumari Tatu. And I do not want to discuss so much about, because as an agency, we are moving to the Court of Appeal in that particular case. It is, we believe as an agency that the precedent that the High Court judge is trying to set is a bad one for the Kenyan athletes. And therefore, it is important that we mention that the case that the athlete was facing was a case of presence of prohibited substance. And indeed, the laboratory confirmed beyond a reasonable doubt that the athlete had actually used the substance. Now, the issue of whether the data that was recorded into the ADAM system, whether it was correct or false, that is not what has even been discussed by, I mean, in the appeal in the High Court. But be that as it may, we are moving to the Court of Appeal, and I love your enthusiasm. Please keep on following the case, and trust you me, in the Court of Appeal, we are going to overturn all this. Moving on to the other issue on whether do athletes actually have the financial muscle to fight national anti-doping organization or results management authorities. I can confirm to you that indeed, in my now almost 8 years prosecuting athletes on anti-doping cases, I can confirm that for you as an athlete in Kenya to be able to defend yourself, and especially on cases touching on presence of prohibited substance, it will take a lot. And you need the backing to be able to prove that indeed the substance that you used, you did not use it intentionally. It's not so easy for the athlete to be able to prove that. But one thing that we advocate for as an organization, and we keep on telling athletes this, don't put yourself in a situation where you're using a substance that one day you need to come and explain how it got into your system, because it is almost impossible. That is why we have the principle of strict liability. Once an athlete has tested positive for a prohibited substance, my work as the prosecuting counsel on behalf of the agency is to sit back and allow the athlete to grapple with whatever charges they are facing. I don't have to prove much. In terms of the other cases, evading, refusal, whereabouts, and all that, we have a bit of work to do in that particular area. And I can confirm, as I said before, those cases have reduced in this country. But the presence cases, especially steroids, I don't know what is happening. And we keep on singing this song to the athletes. And I think one of the things that I've noted is that most athletes are not taking it as seriously as they should. They keep on consuming, they keep on injecting themselves with, even though it is medication, but without conducting research to confirm whether that particular medication has any effect in terms of their career. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, investigations, there's no possible turnaround time. Depends on how nature takes course in terms of investigations. But in terms of tests, you're talking about the results to come from the laboratory, or the turnaround time is about 3 weeks. But now, from now onwards, we are discussing with the accredited laboratories for WADA that we are taking the samples to reduce that turnaround time, because we want to ensure that by the time the trials come, only athletes who will be clean will participate in the trials. And then from there again, we ensure that only those who are clean will leave the country for the championship. So that's basically what we are doing. We have done that in the past during the Olympics, Paris Olympics, and we presented a clean team to Paris. And the same modality, we are using it for this time round to ensure that there's a clean team which we are presenting for the World Championship.